Very much, Lord Chairperson of the Electoral Commission. For those that are joining us for the first time today, Lord Chairperson, with your indulgence, I would like to let them know who the people are on this high table, so that they know who is there and who is the host of this occasion. You have already known the Chairperson, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, and I will start from the extreme left with Commissioner Honorable Anthony Okello. And then there is Commissioner Dr. Simba Kayunga Sali. We have the Deputy Chairperson, Hajat Aisha Lubega. Next to the Chairperson is Commissioner Honorable Stephen Tashobya. We have Commissioner Carol Beinamario. We have Commissioner Peter Emorud. And we have Mr. Richard Kamdishababo, the Secretary of the Commission. So those are your hosts. That is what we call a commission. I will now, your indulgence, Chairperson, request protocol to bring in the first aspirant for the second day. The first aspirant on day 2 of the nominations of candidates for presidential elections is walking in the tent, and he is Mr. Nandara Mafabi. Nandara Mafabi of the Forum to request you to take up the exercise and guide us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Would like to welcome the first aspirant of today with his entourage. May I now ask that the aspirant presents his papers? The nominator, second, are they present? So that the papers can be scrutinized. You can send your agent to bring the papers. Your agent. Okay.
This exercise is guided by the presidential, and every step of the way that you are seeing, those who are here and those who are following this exercise across the country and across the world, follows every detail of that provision of those provisions of the Presidential Elections Act, which, among other things, require that the aspirant will present his nomination papers, nomination form filled in triplicate, in 3 copies. So they will check that that form is there. They also check to confirm that the aspirant has consented to be nominated. So there is that declaration that is also should be among those documents. The team of the commission, the commission has instructed its technical team, where you see those images, those are technical team of the Electoral Commission, from the legal department, from voter data management, from election management, from field operations. They are examining those papers. They will check to confirm that the aspirant is a registered voter, because that is one of the first requirements for a candidate or an aspirant for that matter. And being a registered voter presupposes already that he is a citizen of Uganda by birth, that he is 18 years and above. The law requires that anybody or somebody to contest for the seat of president must have attained a certain level of education, a minimum of A level, advanced level standard, senior 6 in our is the way of describing it. So they are checking to confirm that the aspirant went to school, and that he went to school. Yes, these are very important. Very important. The first one, the first aspiration to be the first citizen. So, and they will check also to confirm that that requirement of demonstrating that you secured, that he secured at least 100 supporters from 2/3 of the districts in Uganda, which when computed comes to 98 districts, and therefore a minimum of 9,800 supporters from across the country, that was also fulfilled, and that there is a certificate to that effect. They must also check and be sure that the aspirant has already paid the non-refundable nomination fee of 20 million Uganda shillings. He must also have attached the required photographs, which, when successful, will feature on the ballot paper. He also indicated before he leaves here that he has appointed an agent, an official agent, who will become the point of liaison as the process proceeds. The Presidential Elections Act states that somebody can contest for the seat of president either representing a political party or sponsored by a political party, or they can come as independents. In the case of a candidate or aspirant representing a political party, the symbol they will use is the symbol of their political party. And for the independents, before they leave, if they have been and when they have been successfully nominated, they will leave with a symbol allocated to them by the Electoral Commission. So briefly, that is what is happening, and that is what is required, and the so we wait to hear from the examination and verification of those. So even this day, these 2 days of yesterday, 23rd of September, and today, 24th of September, they are defined in the law. The Presidential Elections Act, Section 8, on appointment of nomination days, it says that the Commission shall issue a notice in the Gazette appointing 2 days during which the nomination of candidates are to take place. That's what the law says. So these days are anchored in the law. And the Commission did do that. It announced these dates. And we have been talking about them. They look to be very far, but here they are now. We are here. The last one is today. And that in that Gazette, they will indicate, the Commission will indicate the places and times fixed for the nomination of candidates, and the hours for each nomination day. And that place where this exercise has to take place must be a public space, public place, such as a courthouse, a city or town hall, a community center, or any other public or private building in a central place. Fortunately, for today, for this particular nomination of 2025-2026 general election, for the first time in the history of the Electoral Commission, this nomination exercise is taking place in the premises, on the grounds owned by the Electoral Commission. I know you're not allowed to clap, but that is a milestone. But please don't. It is to take note that this particular nomination is taking place on the grounds of the Electoral Commission, where the Commission is going to have its first ever permanently owned headquarters. Rubowa, Rweza, Makinge Sabagabo. And everybody who has been here so far, from yesterday, some did not want to leave because the ambience, the place is nice. So yes, the place is very nice. So yes, and when this is a place that Ugandans we should celebrate, because it's their home. Because the commission is the commission of the people of Uganda. The holders of the offices are in the service of the people of Uganda. the facility here is for the people of Uganda. Earlier I had mentioned that you see there is a big book in front of Commissioner Stephen Tashobya. That book is called the Compendium of Electoral Laws. All laws governing elections in the country are in that book. And all the commissioners and everybody has copies of that. I know the other copies are just around here. So they define everything there need to be in organizing elections. The secretary of the commission is now going to the chairperson. As we await the type of smoke, whether it is black or white. So I was reading for you some sections and elements of the Presidential Elections Act. Just to, I know you know, but just to remind ourselves. Section 9 speaks about sponsorship of candidates by political parties, and it says...
Thank you, Julius, for that voter education exercise. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we were verifying the papers of the aspirant. It has taken some bit of time, but that's what we're required to do. We are required to be meticulous and ensure that everything is in order. We verified these papers and we find everything is okay. He has satisfied the requirements laid out in the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Nandala Mafabi James Nathan a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179, Laws of Uganda. Congratulations. All right. Now, candidate Nandala Mafabi James Nathan. As a duly nominated candidate, you are required to observe the following. 1, you are to appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you are to avail the Commission with a schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. And thirdly, you are to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission in compliance with the harmonized campaign program, timelines, and guidelines. May I now therefore ask you or your agent to sign this nomination document to confirm you have been duly nominated. Yeah, please. Just the correct page. Yeah, just here. Yes. All right. You worked in an aspirant, Now you are moving out as a candidate. And your status for that matter has changed in an instant. First of all, the law under the Presidential Elections Act provides that the state should provide you with 24-hour round security. We are going to begin that by giving you, handing over to you, your security vehicle with security personnel who will accompany or escort you wherever you are going on your campaign trail and wherever you want to go, except outside the country. They will not escort you there. Secondly, you also be availed security at your home. That vehicle is at the cost of the Electoral Commission in terms of fuel, payment to the driver, and to the security personnel. You don't have to pay them anything. And it has to be driven only by our official driver, to whom it will be handed over. After that, Mr. Candidate, you may, at your will, go to the media tent and address the media and the people of Uganda. They may want to hear your voice. So now let's go to hand over your vehicle, Mr. Presidential Candidate, so that you are well secured. Thank you. Secondly, under the Presidential Elections Act also, upon nomination, the Commission is required to avail you a soft copy of the National Voters Register. And I have it here. Let your agent come and pick this soft copy of the National Voters Register.
Okubanga ate bamukakasa okubanga yegatta ku abo abasatu betwalabye olunaku olweggulo nga bakakasibwa okubanga besimbawo okuvuganya ku bwa president yasoose wano ku ssaawa nnya zennyini abadde atuuse kati ndaba aba commissioners ate bagenda kubanga bamutwala omuwa ebyo byagenda okubanga akozesa mu campaign ze omuli emmotoka eya security wamu n'abakuumi 16. Tuli ku SOT TV akugwe atulaba tukutaga n'okutuusaako embeera nga bweri wano ku kitebe ky'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda akapya we tuli essaawa zino kati Nandala Mafaabi. Ebitiibwa bikyuseemu era agenda kubanga aweebwa obukuumi ng'obwedda mulaba abalala nga ate nabo baweebwa emmotoka n'obukuumi obw'enjawulo. Mbategeeza nti byonna ebikwata ku byokulonda campaign n'ebirala beera gwe bubeezi ku SOT TV. Tetulina kitundu kye tujja kujuza, tetulina kifo kye tutajja kutuukamu, tetulina mbeera gye tutajja kuwa gwe omulabi waffe, naye nga era nkujjukiza olunaku lugenda kuba lwakutaano, olunaku ebula lumu tutuuke ku Independence Night. Tugenda kubeera wali Kololo Independence Grounds. Musumba Bugingo ye amatanga yagawanise dda alinze mmwe abagenda okumwegattako n'abaweereza abalala ku Independence Night Kololo ngenda kuzomeza 26 Lwokutaano lolo. Naye ng'ekiri wano kakati ba commissioners abakakiiko k'ebyokulonda bakulembeddemu omukulu Nandala Mafaabi okubanga ate bagenda okumukwasa security wamu ne motoka mu mbeera emu oba endala, era nga kakati kyekyo ekigenda mu maaso akuggwe atulaba. Tuli ku SOT TV and video experience batuusaako eri wano erweza ku kakiiko k'ebyokulonda.
Thank you. Yes, it's your card now. For the duration of your candidacy, it is your card. You shall fear it full time, service it, maintain it, keep everything. It is all on our cost. Thank you so much. Now, okay, how many people are supposed to be on that vehicle, Mr. Omunga? 16 personnel assigned to the candidate.
So they will plan for instance the home, the convoy, at the office, every segment will be allocated to your service. If you have any challenge with that, you will have to ask us. Request that you cooperate with them, because they are serving.
Thank you. Now, candidate, the driver, yes, our driver, we need to introduce the driver. The driver signed this candidate, so it's your driver. At your instruction. Thank you. Okay, for us, done with you, now you can proceed to the media then.
Bamaze okuba nga bamukwasa abakuumi n'emmotoka era kaakati bano bendimu wano be bakuumi batandise dda okukola omulimu wano era obalaba kaakati n'emmundu zikyuse engeri gye zikwatibwamu. Yasini Kikola ajja kumpa ekifaananyi kino alabe kaakati n'emmundu ze babadde nazo zikyuse. Anandala Mafaabi James Nathan kaakati akuumibwa mmundu okuviira ddala akaseera kano ke tuliko paka bwe kali bakawedde oba oli bwali batayiseemu awo biriba bikyukamu. Naye ffe magye kugwe agenda maaso n'okutulaba ekyenjawulo ekiriwo kyetugenda maaso n'okulaba nti bonna bebagenze maaso n'okuwa obukuumi. Abakuumi babadde babawa ababaduumira bonna bakazi, abakuumi abaduumira abagenda okukuuma abantu bano bonna bakyala. Lwaki nakyo tujja kuba nga tukimanya, naye fonna tugenda kufuna Nandala Mafaabi.
Okay. The candidate space is going to...
Excuse me. Let him be alone. You know, like 2 people here. Then the rest can... Yes. Senior leader. Let everybody go and sit except another service. Like 2 people.
Just allow him. Let him be there by himself with the interpreter. Chairman. We're seeing only
2 people. They said 2 people.
Jack, come.
Jack, come.
Jack, come.
Jack.
Let
Jack, come.
by himself. Jack, can you pull out? Please.
Please, the rest of you can take seats here. Okay, candidates, you can now talk to the family.
Is it on?
Thank you so much. My name is Nandala Mafaabi James Nathan. I come from the mountains of the sun, and I've been around for almost 59 years. I began my life by going to school, primary school, secondary school, and the university. I I have done so many professional qualifications. I've worked as a civil servant at local and international, and I've been a member of parliament for 25 years. On this note, I want to thank the people of Budadiri West, Bugisu, for having given me an opportunity to be a member of parliament for 25 years and all the support in the region, which put me on the platform so that everybody can see me. On the international scene, I've worked for World Bank and IMF, and I still consult for them. This work, which I do, is in the area of economics and accounting. In Parliament, whom you see here, served as the chairman of the national economy, served as chairman PAC twice. I was a leader of opposition, and all of you have seen the reforms I did during my tenure. I'm sure today you are seeing me in a different capacity as a presidential candidate. I'm currently the chairman of the Youth Cooperative Union, which union is the only surviving union in this country. And that's why I bring the knowledge of cooperatives in this election. For all of you who have seen me for this period, believe and accept I'm a worker. Since I'm a worker, I am a servant you can rely on. And that's the reason I'm in this election to come and work for people of Uganda as your servant to make sure you have better lives than you have now. And that's why our slogan, fixing the economy, money in our pockets. The reason we want to fix the economy is that in 1986, our current president, President Museveni, the problem was security. Now security is done. What is remaining? There's insecurity in our homes, in our pockets. And the people are poor, whereby 84% of Ugandans live on 26%. In short, every 26 people are the ones of every one person of 26 people are supporting 84. It means poverty in this country. I heard President Museveni talking about GDP, him talking about poverty reduced in Uganda, but those are which are disputable. Poverty is in how you see your life, how you live their lives, how you live in your house. Are you able to take your children to school? Are you able to get medical? Are you able to transport yourself from one point to another? Are you having a roof over your head? Is your life okay? These are the issues why we come in this election. I want to thank my party, Forum for Democratic Change, for giving me an opportunity to carry their flag as a presidential candidate. And this I attribute it to my party leaders, my brother, who is the current president of the party, POA, that's Patrick Amriat Oboy, my chairman, Jack Sabit, whom I've known from my younger days as a civil servant, and he has mentored me up to date, all my members of NEC, National Council, Delegates Conference, and the party members and the Uganda at large. This election which I come, I bring a new menu, which all of Ugandans should take. I don't come with hatred. I don't come with anger. I come to build bridges where there are no bridges. I come to repair bridges where are broken. 40 years down the road, President Museveni has done what he can. The remaining period he can't do it. It needs a new blood to fix it. And I'm asking people of Uganda, this is an opportunity for you to have a new blood in Nandala Mafavi to fix this country for you. This country, our youth are suffering. Poverty is on increase with the youth. They tell the youth are taking marijuana.
1 p.m. He requested that he be allowed
sectors instead of investing in non-productive sectors. This country, we have the best climate which can grow anything. Agriculture is our backbone. I can tell you we can even grow stones and people will make money. Our problem we have, our country does not look at, our leaders does not look at a farmer, what he should get out of his produce. That's why many farmers have abandoned coffee, have abandoned tea, have abandoned sugarcane, have abandoned potatoes, mention it. And that's why the poverty is on increase. I and my team, if you give us power in January 2026, I want to assure you that the agriculture sector will get 10% of the national budget so that we develop this country. As we develop the agriculture sector, we need to look at what the farmers produce. Do we have market? If there's no market, the government will make sure provides the market. We shall have stores, which you know them, silos, to keep our produce. Farmers suffer because they have a problem of what we call post-harvest. A man has a small house with his wife, his children. He produces 10 bags of maize. He has nowhere to keep them. I want to tell you that if we have a responsible government, this maize should have been kept by government and issued a farmer with what we call a warehouse receipt, which he can go anywhere and cash it anytime for the purpose of his life. I talk about coffee. I can tell you I am a child of a teacher, of teachers and farmers. We know growing coffee. I want to state that in Nairobi now, which is Kenya government and Rwanda government, they are on the New York Stock Exchange. They are taking their coffee at a premium, while ours we are just throwing away. You can imagine a Senate government to allow our Ugandan coffee to go at a cheaper rate instead of going at a premium. I want to implore all of you to check the New York board. You will discover that the Kenya coffee, which has poor quality, and Rwanda, is going at a higher price compared to ours. And that's why they come here to buy ours for purpose of going to blend theirs, instead of us getting the highest premium. As a president of your country, if you give me the mandate, coffee, which is the leading foreign exchange earner, which was one of those which brought independence in Uganda, will get the best treatment, and you will get value for this country. We intend to revamp, and of course, I can say revitalize cooperatives. I am a chairman of this cooperative union, the only surviving one. There is no country which can develop without cooperatives. Leave lip service of talking about cooperatives. You must have cooperatives which work. I want to tell you, I come with experience in the cooperative world. I will ensure cooperative societies work. And when a cooperative society works, ensure that the people of Uganda, who are those lower side people, will earn lives. And that's why I say I come with experience to make sure that all regional cooperative societies are revitalized, start functioning for purpose of helping our poor farmers to earn a living and put money in their pockets. This one is a sure deal because you are dealing with a person with experience, and I come with total experience in that area. Of course, all of you know this cooperative union, when we came, was dead, was on its knees. Now it's the growth of the region, and that's why you go to Bujusu, you're having people putting up iron sheets or tiles or buying cars, doing good life better to look after themselves. We intend to ensure that we have money at a village level. All of you know we launched a manifesto, which is now being copied by some party members and some members of other parties, including the president of this country, because our manifesto was the first to be launched. It's the best manifesto, and I implore every Ugandan to read it. And one of the pillars there, of course, we talk about employment. We talk about strategic investment. We talk about human capital. We talk about special interest. All these are embedded, the 5 pillars, in our manifesto. I'll talk about a few in a summary so that you know what type of manifesto we have. In village level, we intend to have money at village level. Every village will have 100 million shillings every year. Every parish will have 100 million. Every sub-county will have, those are for the leaders, going up the district at 500 million. Somebody will ask, where will you get money for a village? Currently, this country is bleeding. Corruption and mismanagement totals 10 trillion shillings. We have 72,000 villages. 100 million, it means that is 7.2 trillion. So the interest which I'm going to do is to plug. There is no corruption in this country, and I'll have 10 trillion service the village levels. I can tell you villages, you are going to have money under my leadership. Others are saying they are going to do it again. They have been around for 40 years. They have not done it. In fact, President Museveni does not need to put a poster anywhere for 40 years because he has been around. If somebody can put a poster, then there must be a problem. If somebody can talk about going to fight corruption when you have had the power for 40 years, if somebody can talk about that he's going to change roads when he has been there for 40 years, if somebody can talk that he's going to give you money in his pockets, in your pockets when he has been here for 40 years and he has not done it, it shows that's a total failure. It's now time to give new blood who can implement this idea. Sports. We have said sports, every school will have sports fields, facilities. I had President Museveni say in a school without a sports facility. Where has it been 40 years? Where? That's clearly now copying and pasting. Now the person who can do it is Nandala Mafaga and his team. Every school will have sports facilities. I can speak without contradiction. If a Speaker of Parliament can build a stadium, what about government? I can assure you, and it can be done. Colleagues and countrymen, we are having employment for our youth. The reason why we have unemployment is because we are, instead of putting money in productive sectors, we are putting in unproductive sectors. Our government will make sure money is put in productive sectors to generate jobs. The youth, I want to assure you, under my government, you are going to get jobs. And this is why we even start and said, every graduate who is going to leave, and the day on your graduation, you will go with 1 million shillings to go and start life. That shows it is possible. I have heard President Museveni saying that within now 2 years, he's going to provide them some money. What happened 40 years down the road? You never saw that graduates are suffering. It is important you have a leader who will keep his word, who will move this country forward. I come here repair where there are no bridges. Finally, on this lake, we decided to make our rally at a place called the Kampala Road in Butabika. That place is in a slum area. We did it intentionally to tell the people of Uganda that we are aware of your problem. And we are coming here to show you that this problem where you are is what we are coming to solve. It's not that we can also go to a better place like Nachivubo, no, but we are coming where that rally is to tell you that we are part of that problem and it's time to solve it. And that's why our rally is in Butabika, in a place where people are disadvantaged. I ask people who want to protect our gains. You want to protect gains of poverty, you want to protect gains of people suffering, or what? The gains should not be for a few, it should be for the entire country. And nobody made an application to God to be born in Uganda. All of us found ourselves here. And that's why we say, I want you to go to a hospital, whether in Kisoro, or Koboko, or Zombo, get equal treatment. That's why we want all regional hospitals now to become referral hospitals instead of having one referral hospital. That's why I'm saying we don't want to do medical tourism where people go to South Africa, go to India, go to Dubai, go to America, to UK for treatment. And those who go are either members of parliament, ministers, or those who can catch the eye of a president. I want you to go to Mbale Hospital and get what you would get in India. I want you to go to a raw hospital to get what you'd get in Turkey. And this is why we come in, that my grandmother in Zombo, my mother in Kavale, my father in Busia, when he cannot see the eye of a president, should go anywhere and get treatment than looking for favors. I can assure the school will be made better and everybody will need education. And you can see Electoral Commission was checking my papers to confirm if there are people who have not gone to school, not because they not like, but because they have not had capacity to do it. We need equal education. We need our elders to be taken care of. We need houses for civil servants like medical facilities. You'll call Mulago Hospital, where there's a building where used to be CMA. Those were quarters for junior doctors. I want to ask you a question. Supposing a mother is in Mulago Hospital, going to deliver, and now he must be having a cesarean, be operated on. Our doctor stays in Mukono, who is supposed to work. By the time he comes, will the woman be there? The woman will be dead. Those are things which we say misplacement of planning in this country. I have technical people whom I put ahead. I will respect all the workers, the civil servants, the teachers. There's no teacher who should not be paid equally, whether you did math or you did chemistry or you did physics or you did English, you are the same. We need all these teachers. Mathematics is never taught in Rugisu or Uganda. Mathematics is taught in English. And that means you need a teacher of English so that you are able to understand the math in English. So why would you disadvantage a teacher of English? All this will be resolved and this country will move together. Anyone who decides dividing people like that means is dividing the country. This country is disunited. I come here to reconcile it, to unify it, so that when you go to Gulu, you go to Chisoro, you go anywhere, you are treated as a Ugandan, all of you loving each other. So I come as a reconciler, and I am the one who brings unity in this country. I want elders to be taken care of. I can assure you the elders, you will have homes, you will have a monthly salary. I will not add just age, so that you say few can get. I will make sure each and everyone is treated equally. Uganda belongs to all of us. One Uganda, one people.
Nathan, the FDC flag bearer. I'm going to invite a few questions of the candidates, and I'd love to have two gentlemen. Okay, ladies, please. Okay, as they prepare themselves, please mention your name, the media house, and please stick to the theme of today. Thank you so much.
William Ranga from Beg Media, Stroke Beg TV. Honorable Nandala Mafabi, now Excellency to be.
You say Your Excellency.
Your Excellency to be. You have previously worked with the World Bank before we saw you in politics in Uganda. Uganda keeps on borrowing from the G7. What will be your position when you become president? Because our borrowing is too much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If you are going to borrow, it means you will pay back and you pay with interest. So Uganda borrows because to manage their budget. So we have been borrowing to fill the gap of the deficit. Currently, the figures are beyond 50%. 50% of our GDP. So that means every year we are borrowing 50% of our budget goes to service debt. Goes to service debt. I'm just assuming now it's 50. 10 trillion At the end, you find that the money which remains, which goes for service delivery, is about 10%. The reason the country is not moving forward is basically because of borrowing and the mismanagement of public resources. So as a president of your country, if you give me the power, number one is to reduce debt. And the debt can be reduced in the following manner. We have a narrow tax base. And this narrow tax base, people whom we charge every day. And some of you, of course, you are part of the narrow tax base. If you go to buy soap, you pay tax, it's VAT. If you go to buy sugar, you pay tax, VAT 18%. So in short, instead of buying a kilo of sugar, you buy a quarter because you cannot afford because of tax. And because of that, it costs this country that people don't get enough to live on. So number one is to increase the tax base, to ensure everybody is in the tax bracket, and pay little. At the end it will be more, and you will service the current debt, and don't go to borrow money for non-productive sectors. Money should be for only productive sectors. And this, if done, within 1 year, this country will change. You recall, in 1997, we were told, HIPIC, all our debt was written off. If this country was serious, by now would be in surplus budget. Instead, every year, we're running a deficit budget. I can assure you, if you block losses, if you block mismanagement, if you reduce on public administration, I can tell you we shall reduce debt, and at the end, within less than 3 years, would be in surplus. And the people of Uganda will be living a better life. That's why we say, have money in your pocket. How will you have it? If instead of spending 10,000 to buy one item, I'll spend 10,000 to buy many items, because the money will have value and there will be lower cost of goods and services.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. To be Jethro Kasaiji, I work with UBC. About governance and leadership, how do you intend to practically actually empower institutions of accountability, that is IGG, Auditor General, and also Parliament to fight corruption? Thank you.
I think you know that I'm good at that. You are aware of the Chairman Park, where we heard the untouchables to become accountable. I am very good. We have the best laws in this country for Auditor General, for IGG, for CID, mention it. Lack of will. Because if the Auditor General produced a report that this such and such sources are missing, and you, the executive, does not implement it, it shows you are demoralizing an institution. If IGG produces a report and you don't work on it, you are demoralizing the institution. And also you must give them resources to do work. It does not mean that you have a dog you are not feeding and you assume it will look after you. It will look after the neighbor who is feeding it. So it is important that these institutions have laws, be facilitated, do work, and whatever they produce, act on it. And you need a man like Randala to act on such, not the current president, because he has no capacity. Even in our public administration, let me give an example, Parliament. Our Parliament is too big. Too big, we have created many districts, and whenever you create a district, you have a member of Parliament who is a woman, you have LOC5 and the local government. Why did we create them? Because of lack of service delivery. People were thinking if they create this, they will have this. Parliament needs to be reduced. I can tell you this is one of the topics. I and my team will make amendments to ensure that districts are represented by 2 people only. One directly elected member of Parliament and one for women who represent for purposes of gender sensitive. And that's why I have my wife here. For over 30 years we have been together because I'm gender sensitive.
I congratulate you, Mr. Nandala, for your nomination. So I'm grateful. I have three questions. Question number one. With mask. Put on a mask.
I'm not one of those.
Let me finish. Number two, we're tired of reception. They speak as if they are going to do miracles first. They don't do it. Thirdly, we have the paradox of Africa, having everything and have nothing. You can't have everything and have nothing. How are you willing to change that? That rhetoric that the world has talked, that they have everything and have nothing. Number four, how are you going to move money for politics, which is a cancer and a pain?
Thank you very much. Let me give you one of the experiences which we have seen in this country. We have the best reports, but implementing them is not there. And many countries, including Rwanda, have got our reports and implemented them. That have been a success story. Now, what is the reason? We can write well, but we cannot do work. Now you have brought a servant who can work. I can tell you, here is a servant you can rely on. I'll do what you are asking me. Removing money from politics is very important. You end up voting money, a leader. I am begging the people of Uganda, this kindly change, not vote money. Because when you vote money, the person will tell you, I bought you. Of course, that's why we wanted to amend the Act of Presidential and Parliamentary, that the President should step aside so that this election could be fair and fair. Currently, the current government, you know, cannot differentiate NRM, and now when the President wants to give it, he's giving it and claiming it as an NRM. So these are things we must deal with. Now, money in politics, it's high time. Don't follow it. In any case, if somebody gave you money, you never asked. If it's from any, but vote leaders like Nandala so that you can have better leaders for tomorrow. And I can assure you, if you vote a leader who is good like Nandala, he'll do everything for you, and they pay you 1 million. Why do you leave 5 million to go for 10,000? And the 100 million is from your state coffers, while the one who gave you 10 from state coffers has left the balance. These are things you should think about. Even when you're electing your leaders at low level, don't go for money. Go for leaders and you'll be safe. And this one, of course, we need to make a law to deal with voter bribery in an election. The other, and I am not there. I don't have a mast. I am a man we see. What I'm speaking is what comes from my heart. What I work, I can do it. And you know, whatever I've been given an assignment. Ask colleagues I've been with in civil service, I've been with in World Bank in international world. Ask Kibugisu. I am a worker. It will produce 10 cows at once. If you give me a stone, it will produce water. Give me an opportunity and I'll be there. I think those are the questions.
Okay. First and foremost, congratulations, Honorable Nandala Mafabi, on being duly nominated. My name is Tracy Kansima. I work with NBS Television, and mine is about the building bridges, fixing those that have been broken. Your party itself is no stranger to factions, and whereas we've seen cooperation agreements, memorandum of understandings with the other members of various political parties, yours seems to be under your leadership and that of the Honorable Patrick Boya Moriat. It seems not the case. My question is, what are those strategies that you will be working to remedy, even within your political parties, those that have left and are yet to return? Because I think previously you said let them go. And so I wonder if that tone or that rhetoric has changed, given the fact that now we're talking about building bridges and fixing those. Where do you start? Thank you.
Thank you so much. In 2001, I came to Parliament. We're in one-party system, which was called NRM. In 2004, we formed the party called Forum for Democratic Change. I have been there since day one. I have never left. So that I was a deputy of the party. In 2012, Dr. Besige left the party. I contested with General Muntu. I lost with 32 votes. I never left the party. And if you want to know, you could have tested, I would have, because I knew I'd done well. I can't bring our internal issues here. In 2017, Poa, my big brother Poa stood with General Muntu. General Muntu was a sitting president of the party. Poa beat General Muntu with over 300 villages. During the campaign of 2012, they were calling me a villager, which I like. 2017, they called Poa a villager. So the villager beat a town person. Now, when he won that election, General Muntu decided to leave, to go and form a party called Ant. I'm hearing unfortunate stories about it, that they cannot even go to villages and get whatever they are supposed to get. But that's not a big story. So General Muntu went. In 2021, we went to an election. You remember it was COVID time. It was not an election. My party president, who stood Poa, whom I have respect for, whom I must thank for serving us, he calls it a military operation. We lost. I hope this time there is no military operation. We're here for this election. So that clearly shows which man I have been, consistent. I have never run away. And in 2016, we supported Dr. Besige. Now, there are colleagues in their lives. They are either leaders or no, they don't want to be led. Unfortunately, that's what happened. And that's why when you see some of them running away, that is the reasoning. They don't want to be led. They want to be the only ones at the helm. Unfortunately, where they have even gone to lead, they have become, I don't want to mention it. Look, for example, let me give an example of PPF, which we are talking about recently. You know, my brother Lukwago is the president. My brother Semuju is the Secretary General, mobilizer, spokesperson, mentioned it has more than 4 portfolios. When they wanted, none of them came up. They wanted to remain road mayors. They wanted to be members of Parliament. That means for them they are more comfortable to be at the helm, but not to show what it is. I was waiting forward to see Lukwago standing as a presidential candidate. I'm here, he's crying here to be a road mayor. And in fact, I want to ask people of Kampala, such leaders don't trust. They can be very dangerous to our country. In that context, that applies also to my brother Semuju, whom I thought would be. Now, so they went wanting power. And they have got it, but they have failed to execute what. That means if we had given them leadership, FDC would not have had a presidential candidate. Are you getting us? They would not have had a presidential candidate. If they were going to have, they would have demonstrated with the PPF they have. So all those stated have said, we are not bad. Those who went with them, some of them were misled. But we want to ask our colleagues, come back. Come back. Come back. We need to move forward. The journey to the struggle for our liberation is a long journey. Of course, others will reach, others will drop off, but others will join. I ask more to join. I want also more to come and support us, even from other parties. So the bridges I'm building, everybody is free to come with us. And that's why I call on everybody in Uganda to support me. And the bridge, I will work for everybody. Ask anybody, wherever I've worked, if I've ever been sectarian, I have ever been tribalistic, I've ever been anything of that. When I was in the lead of opposition, my driver was from West. My bodyguard was from Acholi. Are you getting me? When I was in my offices, when I worked in finance, my secretary were from West Nile, they are what? That's me. Even today they have given me guards. Akero, Omoding, I would have asked to give me these ones. I'm not that category. So this is the only nationalist you have. And I can tell you, I am ready to build the bridges. And those which are spoiled, I will repair.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Zetera Kaya, Kola Nebukede TV, Nebukede Fondo. Honorable Akalulu Kanuke Museum. Bemuvuganya nabo aba NRM. Balina yo munadala mu local government. Abantu bebayisaawo unopposed. Nakitegeeza FDC teyasobola kusimbayo muntu. Kyokulabira district y'Essembabule yayisaawo chairperson wa MC5. Naye ng'ate amaanyi g'ebibiina gatandikira ddala eno wansi. Nga mulina ebitundu gye mutalina wadde abeesimbyewo. Akalulu mugenda kafeffetta mutya era musuubirayo obuwagizi.
Nziremu mu Luganda oba mu Luzungu? Essembabule naye muganda wange bamwita Ssekikubo Kyedola. Waki? Wa NRM. Weesimbawo mu primaries. Ndowooza abantu bafa. Abantu bakola ki? Bafa. Ebiriyo ebitundu ndowooza emundu yefuga. Kino gavumenti ensi eno
neba kyakukola ki okufa. Oba olaba bagamba kabagende. Ekintu kyolina sure wadde mugenda ojja kutuuka ekiseera ojja kufa. But why should you kill somebody because of a what? A vote. So ebyo ebitundu biliyo abantu baffe babatiisa buli kaseera. Kyoba olaba twagala tusaba electoral commission ekomeo etuyambe ekole voter education buli mu kitundu. Aba twagenda ekotedde naffe ne tubeene bakansala baffe bayita unopposed oba okimanyi. Naye ebiseera ebyo nga tebabakiriza okuyitawo kuba ffennyini opposed. Lwaki oleese Ssembabule n'otagambako ebitundu ebirala? Naffe waliwo abantu baffe naye ffe tetukozesa ki? Mundu. Fyodola bakozesa emundu ndowooza omanyi byavaamu luvannyuma. Akaaba wa FDC neda wa NRM. Twagala kusaba NRM edde mu nkola ekole ebintu bulungi.
Thank you, Honorable. My name is Aloysius Byamukama. I am from Mama FM, which is a women-focused radio station. I have seen your position on agriculture. And now, a question in me, it is kind of a global conversation on climate change. We have seen a lot of changes, including the agricultural harvests reducing totally. We have seen waters actually coming to settlements where people are. We have seen mountains in this country becoming so bare, a lot of sunshine, a lot of changes. This question about your climate change plan.
First of all, climate change is my main interest. Maybe if you want to know, my master's, my dissertation was on environmental. And I even said that unless we settle climate change, we're going to have disasters in this country. It's one of the themes at international level. So we must have financing in the environment to ensure that we deal with this environment. But who are destroying the environment is the developed countries. And we must deal with them. Either they pay for it or not. But also, by the time they do it, what are we doing as Uganda in our country? We have cut forests. We have cleared swamps. That's why you see silting of the roads and the land. If you go to Nakao when it has rained, that place used to be a swamp. Now water floods. There's a lake over there when it rains, and it has taken people. That is us ourselves. If we are doing it, what solution did we put? Mitigation solutions. So on environment, I want to tell you that I and my government, if you give me authority, will be our priority to ensure we have a better environment for our country. So we'll invest in it, we'll educate people about it, and when you invest in environment, you are improving the health of the people, you are improving agriculture. Let me give you an example. When we breathe out carbon dioxide. What you breathe in is oxygen, and oxygen is produced by plants like trees. So if you cut trees and you breathe out oxygen, there will be nothing to absorb that carbon dioxide. That in the end, you will breathe in the same carbon dioxide, which is dangerous. And that's why you see there's a lot of diseases caused because of such things. So we need to make our country green so that we are able to have healthy bodies and also to ensure that agriculture also thrives. I can tell you, you're talking to a student and a practitioner of environment. In the global market, of course, you are aware, under COP, I am one of the members on the Finance Committee on Environment. And wherever I'm there, I am advocating for it. This year it will be in Brazil. Unfortunately, I will be in the campaign. I will not make it. But since you are good, I might nominate you to represent me.
Thank you, candidate Nandala Mafabi of FDC. I am Farida Rule, the Executive Director of Ushahidi Foundation Uganda, and I am observing this process. I have 3 questions. One, what is your plan for the shrinking space for the civil society organizations currently in Uganda? 2, this I'm going to use Luganda. Nchimanyi bulungi nti oli muntu wabyanava oli mu economist mulungi. Tax policy yo egenda kubeera etya? Tax policy eriwo kati saawa zino ekusanyusa oba tekusanyusa? Let me give you one example. Nze bwe manfunye omusaala bwe gutropinga ku account yange nina okusasula pay as you earn nensasula NSSF. Bwe zivaako ne zigenda n'engenda okuziggyako nyina omusolo omulala gwensasula. Bwe ngenda mu supermarket ogulira abaana bange ebyokulya nyina omusolo omulala gwensasula. Bwe ngenda mu katale nyina omusolo omulala gwensasula. Kwegamba government eri kunyunyunta abantu abatono ennyo nti be bali okufujjirira n'olaba nti omukyala atunda amenvu capital we wa mitwalo 2 naye nga still government emulilayingako okubeera nga asasula omusolo. Kakati gwenga candidate otegese otya okulaba nti okozesa ebyo? Tulina amafuta, tulina gold, tulina so many resources. Otegese otya? What is your plan okulaba nti nno tonyigitte government tenyonyuta abantu ffe abawansi okuba nti nno tugirabirira kubanga wetutuuse tulina development. Ekyokusatu, embeera eriwo mu 2021 using owalaba abantu abamu omukyala yafiirwa omugulu nga security ekoseza amaanyi mangi n'omukyala omulala yafiirwa omwana we nga gwe nga tonaba kwenyigira mu kalulu oteeseteese etya okulaba nti embeera yaliwo mu 2021 tesobola kubeerawo mu 2026? Osobola okuba nti ogenda kuteeseganya otya n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga aliwo kati okulaba nti embeera eyo ebeerawo?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Can I answer this because I may forget?
Okay.
The last one, he was asking security. Mbele ki tugenda kugikola ndowooza kyekibuzo kya electoral elections. Naye tulina okwogera ng'abaga basimbyewo tulabe nti security tegenda ekola ebintu ebitali bituufu.
Era tusaba security organization, tusaba electoral commission, tusaba president wa Uganda naye candidate alabe nti election zino zibeera free and fair. Kijja kumuyamba for credibility purposes. Tax base gy'ogambye ffenna tugimanyi. Endowooza oyogedde ku muntu amanyi bintu bya tax base, an expert internationally. Bw'obeera ne tax base entono ojja omusolo mu bantu batono ate oyagala by'okukozesa bingi. Ky'oba olaba olina okukola tax base n'ebeera ennene omusolo ne gubeera muki mutono. Ebimu lwosabye byombuulidde payers you earn eyo ekituufu musolo naye NSSF si musolo. Ezo savings zo bw'onaatuuka emyaka 5 mu 5 ezo tezogerako, ezo zizo ziterese zifuna ne interest. Naye zogambye pay as you earn kikulaga nti bakulekerako okusooka fe bayita threshold, kati bwe zirinya waggulu n'obakuggyako omusolo nga osasula nga bw'okola nga bw'ofuna pay as you osasula nga bw'ofuna. So the higher bw'ofuna nyingi nawe osasulako akantu kangi. Naye complaint yo yandibadde nti sente zange zino zensasula zikola mulimu ki? Kyo ekizibu kuba esinga bazikolesa bubi, bazibba, bazikola ebintu ebitagasa mu kifo ky'okukoma mu economy, zikola emirimu ezo ziyambye abantu, ziyambe economy ekule, so that economy bwekula omusolo nagwo gukola ki? Gukula. Naye okugukosa bubi economy tekula, ate bweshrinkinga abantu abatono bwe bajjako ki? Omusolo. Nga bw'oyogedde buli muntu asasula musolo buli agenda mu supermarket. Naye ze nina okugamba nti omusolo bwe gunaabeera mutono, no productive sector yeyongere, tugenda kukola nti sente zo zebayita disposable income. Disposable income is income oba omaze byonna ebeera mu makono go okukozesa ejja kuba nyingi, lw'ensonga nti bwe sector bwe zikola bulungi sente zibeera nyingi, abantu babeera ne disposable income nyingi. Mu kifo ky'okugula hafu kiro y'esukaali ojja kugula kiro 2 n'embeera yo nayo ebeera ennungi. Ekyo kiraga nti nawe besi yeeyongera, kuba kati omusolo gw'ogenda okusasula ogenda kusasula ku kiro 2 mu kifo kya kusasula ku hafu kiro, kubanga naye bagiyita widening the tax base. Bw'ogula ebintu bingi omusolo gubeera mungi, naye gubeera wadde mutonotono naye ebintu bingi zibeera nyingi okusinga okugula hafu kiro omusolo gubeera at high rate naye nga musolo muki? Mutono. So productive sector zekogugambyeko zigenda kweyongera. Kati gw'ofuna olaba threshold entono, kubanga abantu bebandifujja mu musaala ne bajjako omusolo singa babadde bangi okifuna payers and yandibadde wansi. Naye kasita muli batono aba earning income kyobola payers and ebeera waggulu. Ekyo kitugenda kukirwanisa, tukole economy, abantu babeere n'emirimu, ab'emirimu babeera bangi, tubajjako omusolo nagwo muki? Mungi. Kyogambye nti civil society is your right, kiri mu constitution article 28-29, freedom of association, freedom of speech. This the president should bank on, will ensure the freedom of speech, freedom of association. The public must speak, the media must speak. And I want to tell you that constitution was a good constitution. And I want to state one of the items which shall be on our agenda, number 1, is to restate term limit of a president, to cut powers of a president. Those are the things you must do. A president must be a worker, not a boss. Mama mbuziza bisatu. Mbizemu.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, as you deserve to be called. I'm Julius Mugaga Tukachungura, and I write for an online paper called Umoja Standard. I come in the line of policies. We know agriculture is the backbone of Uganda, and for any country to grow, it must focus on, not a major focus, but usually industrialization is a key factor. So what are your policies in as regards to agricultural industrialization, it being a backbone of Uganda? And secondly, there's a growing economy called the digital economy. You didn't mention it. So as an economist, what are some of the policies you are going to employ to see that our digital economy grows and benefits Uganda? Thank you so much.
Those two I'm going to, but I think I forgot one item on this lady. She said when she goes in the bank, she gets money less. Those are bank charges. Those are bank charges. So if they are high, we shall deal with them. One of the things is that the interest rates in this country are too high. We need interest rates to be low so that people can borrow money to invest. You know, when the people don't borrow money to invest, the economy collapses. Let me give a quick sample because I've remembered what the lady asked. If I went to borrow money to put up a maize mill, I borrowed 10 million, it will be better that the interest rate is lower so that I can run that maize mill, to be able to have the one who deals with maize, to produce maize to bring, to make sure that the people are in the maize mill to work, to make sure that people get food, to make sure there's animal feed, because as a byproducts of maize, you will get animal feed. But if the interest is high, I will not borrow. So the people I would have killed, those who deal in animal feed, those who would be employed in the maize mill, those who produce maize. This is where we are saying we should invest in a very productive sector. And that's one of the areas that we must have our businesses working, surviving, by having a deliberate effort to deal with local investors. Local investors must be given money at a cheaper rate by government, not giving it to foreigners. We cannot make our country for foreigners, because foreigners, when they make profit, they externalize it. But when the Ugandan makes money, it stays here. That's why one of the burden here is that foreigners who are here are making money and taking it out. But if you give money to the locals to invest here, it will go a longer way to build the economy. I think that's what Madam, you wanted also, maybe that's why you came back. Agriculture is the backbone of this country, and I want to thank God. He gave Uganda this climate. Anything can grow, and that's what I told you. So how do we industrialize? Of course, we must have value addition. We must have cooperatives, which I started with. Cooperatives will help farmers to have their produce taken to the cooperative society, to have their produce processed. Like maize, we should be having a Nescafe machine here to produce coffee. You can take an example. Recently, I'm not against, my colleague was given a factory in Intungam. Now Intungam can have a factory for coffee which has very little coffee, but you cannot leave Mount Elgon, which has the best coffee, to not have a factory. In fact, that factory should have started in Mount Elgon side, and there's an entity like we just cooperated, which government, if it was a Senate government, to have cooperated with, so that the coffee would be now they want to do. So we make our priorities wrongly, and that's why we get. So we must have industrialization, have industries to process agriculture, which is called agro-processing, so that we have value. Now, we need to have banks. We need to have an agriculture bank to deal with agriculture, because there's a lot of loss, because nobody wants to lend money to an agriculture sector because of the depends on weather. We need to have a cooperative bank, which is even now again in the law, but are not being done. The cooperative bank to help cooperatives to operate. In this agriculture bank to help the process from growing the from the farmer up to the process of agro-processing. And even the marketing. We need to improve on marketing. The best person who should lead marketing of Uganda product should be the government. If I give you an example of coffee being on a New York board, no farmer can move to New York. But the person who can go to New York is the government to ensure that we have that. So I can assure you, if you read our manifesto, which was done by people of FDC, it clearly talks about how we're going to industrialize agriculture sector. Well, you talked about digital. Right now, internet is cheap all over, but in Uganda, internet is very expensive. We need to make data cheaper, because now transactions are easily done online. Why should data be very expensive? Many countries now, if you walk on the streets of their town, even in the villages, there is internet. Why should somebody spend money on the internet when there's free internet? And the internet will assist you. Of course, it is on WhatsApp, and of course, whatever social media, it can do it, but it also can do business, transacting and whatever. Currently, many countries are doing, let me give an example, America and the UK are doing, in my area of accounts, they are going to India to get professionals in India to do accounts for them. So they use this internet to do accounts. They send the accounts to UK, they are paid a check. Our boys and girls, those are the jobs they would be doing. But because they don't have those facilities, and of course you are talking to a man who also has some digital knowledge, I'll make sure that digital is at lower cost, affordable, and everybody must access it. My study in Makerere, all of you know, in our year we used to do what we call computer science, where there was a mainframe. Those who know Lotus, 1, 2, 3, those who know WordPerfect, I was one of the young programmers. I still have ideas. Even if I become a president, I'll do programming for you so that you enjoy it.
Soul Television, Femunyo. wekozesa momo n'oba olina amaanyi g'okutunga ibanja jubajuba hatali okuteganisibwa abasimu yawe imata star 165 star 5 hashi okulondaho aha miringo etagi emwe n'emwe ey'okwehora obase kwehora akasente wonayi wakendera kandi sente zaako oliyo n'oshashuta ibanja n'obasa kwoniserezaho uri kukozesa momo advance egyo niyo momo amaani agari kukuleetera kukiraho.
Muwanguzi mu live concert onkunsi kuno tuli bageni bona mulenzi omuyimbi wa gospel David Muwanguzi ani yali amanyi nti alikikola kadagenda balagako ku hotel 100 mu Mbale City October 5 2025 sawa mukaga paka wetunankoyera okuyingira mutwalo gumu ate abaana 15 VIP emitwalo 5 silver emitwalo 2 ate platinum emitwalo 3 olugolodi emitwalo 5 ezo zonna meza gawerekeddwako Beti na Maganda Minikira Yesu Apostle Gisisi Paulo Bishop Erasmus Mwaka Michael Musalo Papa OJ Blessed Sister Lady Leia Michael Lewis Aaron Munaka Sodo Sarah Musendero Grace Namalome Gavitiedwa Musende
Soul Television Femunyo Soul Television Femunyo.
Join me. I want to thank my nephew for joining this meeting. This is my nephew, Dr. Sra, for Secretary General. Thank you, thank you. I have my brother John from Masindi. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for chairing FDC up to now. I have my brother Wante. Thank you for always being there. Wante, when they sacked me from Mwedi, you looked after me. I have my brother Olanya from. Thank you for joining me. Oh yeah. My elder sister who is Madam President, Madam Jessica Modua. That's the one who puts food. I have my sister Franca. My sister, thank you for joining me. I have my nominator and my sister from another mother. Kabogo, for being there for me. I have my brother from the Rockups. It is great you are with me. It is great you are with me. I have my younger brother, Geoffrey Kanya. Thank you for being there. I have my brother, Konyogo, my spokesperson. Thank you very much. I have my daughter who is contesting in Buyukwe, called Namwanga. I may fail to introduce everybody, but all of you, thank you for coming. I'm so grateful. I have my bodyguard. He's here. Number 64718. This is my bodyguard. Thank you very much for bodyguarding me. I want to thank the translators. It was great seeing you. The media, Elamba Noi. Mwanya Lalugali, where are you?
Thank you so much, candidates and Nandala Mafabi. And the security to guide you. They are going to guide you very well to the new. I thank you for the patience. I thank you so much. Please, protocol team, guide the candidates. Please. Thank you. Now this engagement comes to a conclusion. Thank you.
Bye bityo bibadde omukolo Nandala Mafaabi oyinza okugamba nti ayogeredde kumpi essaawa namba n'omusobyo nga ogyeko Yoweri Kaguta kati mpulira
Thank you for this today. Thank you for this session. Thank you for You have extended it to your servant, and I want to thank you that he has been duly nominated. And I want to thank you, Lord, for the speech he has just been making here. He's made any speech, Lord God. You want to say thank you for the courage that you gave to him to talk, for the words you gave to him to talk. Father, I want to thank you. We want to pray that you continue blessing him. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you.
Security, thank you.
Yes, Mr. President.
Bwe batyo essaala ne kayimba akatendereza bye bikulembedde naffe aba FDC ati bamukwasizza security yegenda okubanga kakati ekulemberamu enteekateeka zonna tukute tendereza Yesu lwe luyimba lwe badde bayimba wano kuggwe Munnayuganda atulaba tulinda kakati mulala ajja ku ssaawa nga ziizo ate nabyo tujja kubanga tubatuusaako naye nga ekiri wano kyekyo anja kubanga negatta ku Grace Girinya ne Eric Sebalamu ate nabo mu kitundu gye bali babeere nga batuwa n'okututuusaako embeera nga bweri naye nga ekiri wano kyekyo nandala nga bwe mumanyi agenda maaso n'okusalutinga bye bamukwasizza n'ebirala ekyo birina okutambula kubanga kati wano wa security yabadde alina okutuulawo abagambye nti bajja kukyusizaeyo mu maaso oyo amini akulira security ye agendeddemu mu maaso naye nga wa security yabadde alina okutuulaawo tuli ku SWAT TV kugwe atulaba ekiwano kyetukutuusaako wano kakiiko k'ebyokulonda kikakiiko k'ebyokulonda tebatuusaako abalabi baffe aba SWAT TV ati Nandala Mafaabi bw'atyo naye bwayolekedde kutandika pulezidenti omuli okuba campaigns n'ebyekuusa obalaze oluddawa naye nga bw'atyo ayogeredde ebbanga ddene ayogedde ku bintu bingi omuli ebyobulamu ayogedde ku makolero ayogedde ku byobwegassi byasingira ddala okumanya n'ebyenfuna byonna abyogeddeko wano we tuli enaalungamya ku biki bye basuubira okubanga batandikirako era nabiki bibasuubira okukola agambye nti pulezidenti aliko kati Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ekituufu kiri nti byo emirembe agireese kakati ate egyo emirembe agiyateekawo gye balina okutambulira kubanga batwala eggwanga ate ku level eddako okusinziira ku bigambo bye azeemu n'ebibuuzo ebiwerakokko naye nga mujjukira gye twatandikidde ng'atuuka wano era yatuttaka era akawerako n'abakakiiko okubanga abaverifyinga empapula ze batutta akaseera akabeerako ekireeseemu ababadde wali mu kitenti okufunamu akatoyo nga kimanyi ate ki ekiganye naki ekiddako naye oluvannyuma akulira akakiiko k'ebyokulonda omulamuzi Simon Byabakama amukakasizza namugamba nti genda ovuganye akubwa president. Tuli ku SWAT TV akugwe agenda maaso n'okutulaba wano nga bitambula naffe abibatuusaako era nga musaawa mbale atusuubira tujja kubanga tufuna kandidate omulala akuba tukakasiddwa nti n'omukulu Major General Mugisha Muntu naye amaze okubanga esaidi eri akakasibwa okubanga ate ebintu ebyetaagisa birina era naye tumusuubira okujja tusuubira ne Robert Kyagulanyi yoyo yategekeddwa okutuuka wano ku ssaawa 8 naye tujja kubanga tumubatuusaako byonna tujja kubanga tubibalaga ffe tubagamba bugambi nti mubeeremu ku SWAT TV buli kimu nga bwe kigenda mu maaso erudde eno mujja kubanga mukiraba ate nga mukiraba live ku Salt TV nga mukiraba live ku Salt TV akatulinda manifestos bagenda zitongoza n'ebiringa ebyo ebitulinda okubanga ataba akumwe bana Uganda agambye okulwanyisa enguzi agenda kendeza ku bungi bw'ababaka ba parliament district eberenga evamu omubaka omu ng'ekikirirwa ababaka babiri omukyala n'omubaka omulala ebyo n'agamba nti bigenda kuteekebwa mu nkola kubanga aze abitunulira nenga talina busobozi bubanga bubikolako so kyekyo ekiri erudde eno kugwe atulaba akati bagenda kujjawo akasirikiro akatototono nga bwe tulinda ekiddako erudda eno bwe tuli wano kakiiko ak'ebyokulonda ku kitebe kyabwe ekipya wano erweza kugwe atulaba mugenda kunzikiriza ngenda kubanga ate mpumulamuko katono nga bwe tulinda ate ajja omulala abaze era mu Salt TV naye tujja kubanga tumbatuusaako ne for now kanzireyo ate mbakama bange anenteka ate nga wezigenda mu maaso ku kitebe ekya Salt Media atugende maaso n'okufuna ebirala nga tugumiikiriza okulinda ayagala okuweesimbawo akuba president omulala nga atuuka naye nga sinava ku mpewo nze nsigala mbajjukiza nti olunaku lugenda kubeera lwa kutaano okwosa enkya tugenda kubeera ku Kolo Independence Grounds kusaba okwa Independence Night so mwenamu twegatteko bingi ebirina okusabirwa nammwe abazze erudde eno okubanga musaba bino okwesimbawo na biki mwetaaga essaala n'abawagizi bammwe nabo beetaaga essaala kubanga buli omu anoonya buwanguzi kubanga emiriro mingi egitookya ng'abaana b'abantu mu bye tukola bye tutambuliramu n'embeera zonna ze tuyitamu ez'obulamu eza ssente n'ebirala so twetaaga ogenda mu operation va muliro tusambe omuliro ogwo tugwokye nga nagwo bwe gubadde gutwokya tulabe nti ate tugujja mu bulamu obwaffe kanzireyo ku Salt Media ku kitebe ate nja kudda n'ebikira ku bino mugira mubeera bulungi tuddingane mu kaseera akatali kawanvu mweraba